We will start off with a section called Getting Foundations Right. It's a section about how to set up your code base and the underlying fundamentals so it's going to be easier to develop your application in the future. So in this section, we'll cover things like version control, how to structure application, fragments and layout structure, views injection, data binding, frameworks like Rx Java, dependency injection, and job schedulers. We will start off with introduction to version control. So first of all, what is version control? Basically, it's a way to track software changes in atomic manner, so you can go back to the previous changes if something went wrong, and you can always see the history, what happened, where, who made the change. So basically, it's just a way to have a history of all of your code changes. And why is it necessary to use that? So imagine a case where you just were experimenting with code, it was working all fine, and suddenly it just stops working. So version control allows you to go back in time and restore to the last working version or whatever version you have saved before. And the next good thing about version control is that you can track different branches of your software development cycle. So let's say you have this one exciting feature that you just started working on, and while the rest of the code base is very stable, you don't want to touch it, so you just make a separate branch for that and you keep working there. So there are other numerous benefits to using version control, and basically it's a must in modern software development to use a version control. Now let's take a look how could we use version control from Android Studio. So a quick example through the menus would be go to VCS, important version control, create Git repository, and that's it basically. Once you have that done, you might need to add a few files into version control. That can be done using right click and then add. So it's just basically a very simple interface. Once you have some changes, let's add a comment here. So you can commit it, commit changes, something, and it's done. And that's basically it. Well, if you would like to learn more about how to use version control and Git, so it would be good to look up some other material. But the important takeaway is that you basically have to use it, and it's really simple to do that. So let's take a quick look how we could use Git from command line. There are a few commands basically that you have to remember, and all of them are here. So it's git commit, git branch, git checkout, git pull, and git push. So with commit, obviously you commit changes to the repository that you have just made. Git branch is used to create new branches. You could use that for feature branches or from some stable version of your software. Git checkout switches between branches, and pull and push are used to get the changes from the server and push them back. So the idea here is to introduce you to the possibility of using Git from command line, and more sophisticated reference obviously can be looked up on the internet. In the next video, we're gonna take a look at the structuring of packages.